Hi folks, and welcome to Schick Happens. In today's episode I'm going to fire up the Kubota, the MX5200. And right now I have the 6-foot King Kutter tiller on the back of the PTO. That's what I'll be using today. There's a couple things that I want to get tilled up. And neither one of them are the garden. Stick around and find out what I will be tilling up here today on Schick Happens. Right behind me here and behind the barn, it's kind of a low spot. Believe it or not, a few years ago, this is where we had our main garden. But I need to get some dirt filled in here and build this ground back up. So we just kind of let it go, let the grass come up on it. But the problem is, throughout the last 2-3 years, we'd be driving through here either with the tractor, the four-wheelers, or whatever for shortcuts to get back to the wetlands or the woods. And in doing so, I left a lot of ruts, which make it extremely uncomfortable to mow this. So Lori asked me if I could just run the tiller over this to flatten everything back out, and then we'll get it reseeded with grass. So that's the first thing on my list. My buddy Jim over at New Horizons is a die-hard orange guy, loves Kubota. So I'm going to fire this up in dedication to Jim. There you go, Jim. I think that ought to do it for now. We're supposed to get some rain here over the next couple days, and I think that might help level the dirt out just a little bit more. And then once that happens, I'll fluff it up again, try to get a little more level, and then I'll seed it with some grass seed. So on to the next project. Right now I'm back here at one of my food plots. This was a patch of sorghum, green sorghum, that I put in last year, and I didn't get it in till probably the second week of June because it was so wet. And I mowed this with the brush hog a couple months ago. My intentions were to come out here and get this tilled up and get it seeded, but I can just tell I'm walking on it, it's still pretty soupy back here. And I don't want to mud the seed in. But I do have other strips on higher ground over here that I think that I can get worked up and get some of this seed in. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. leaving this higher ground is just a little bit too soupy. I don't want to mud the seat in. And we do have a lot of clay here, so I think I'm going to move further up to another section, see if that's any drier. This isn't as bad. It's still a little bit more moist than I like for seeding, but I think it's dry enough for me to finish doing this section. It's probably 70 yards by maybe, I don't know, 20 yards across. I have 4 of these. So I'm going to finish tilling up this section, see what it looks like, and hopefully I can at least get some seed in here and maybe another section. Well, as much as I want to get this food plot mix in, back there in that section I just tilled up, even after going over it a couple times, it's just a little bit too muddy. I could broadcast this in there and probably be okay, but I'd rather have it a little bit drier, fluff it up a little bit more, break some of that clay up, and then after I broadcast this, run the Cultipacker over it. And if I did that now, I'm just going to cement these seeds in. And then I'll be out all my time gas in a bag of seed. But all is not lost. It's still a nice afternoon and the bass are biting out back. So I think I'm going to grab a little cooler of beverages, my little ultralight, and go wet a line. Well, thanks for joining me here today on Schick Happens. If you enjoy the content on this channel and you've not already subscribed, please consider doing so. Cheers.